Okay, so today we're going deep on something I think we can all relate to. Staying consistent, especially, for language learning, which is what we're all about. We've got this source, Tex Yang Decampelkan, that really digs into this.
Oh, yeah. The challenge of just keeping that momentum going, right? When you don't feel that initial excitement as much and maybe progress is slowing down a bit.
Yeah, and you just don't want to do those practice sessions anymore. Like they feel like a chore.
You start skipping them.
Yeah, exactly. So today, we really want to pull out those practical strategies that this source gives us to help everyone build a routine that actually sticks, that you can actually keep doing.
Yeah, sustainable, yeah.
Yeah, and find those ways to stay motivated and keep moving forward without getting to that burnout stage.
Because burnout is real.
Oh, it's so real. So this is kind of your toolkit.
Your personal toolkit.
Yeah, for how to just keep going with language learning.
Yeah.
Consistently. So right away is something I found interesting in the source is how it's not just like consistency is a factor. It's like the thing.
Yeah, it's foundational.
Yeah, it's super important. And it's more about regular short practice.
Yeah.
Than like those long sessions every once in a while that can just feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. And I think part of that is just kind of thinking about how our brains actually learn best, right? It's through that consistent, repeated exposure over time.
So let's break that down. Consistency versus intensity. The source really talks about how those regular short sessions are actually much more effective long-term.
Way more effective than, I'm going to sit down for 5 hours on Saturday and cram.
Oh, yeah. And then not do anything for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, from a cognitive science perspective, you've got things like spaced repetition, which is based on the idea that we learn things better when we revisit them at increasing intervals and actually leverage a little bit of forgetting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it strengthens those memories more effectively than just mass practice all at once.
Right.
So, these shorter regular engagements actually facilitate that naturally.
Yeah, and that ties into what the source is saying about building habits.
Yeah. Like if you make it part of your routine.
Right.
Every day, it's not just this extra thing.
It's not an option. It's just part of what you do.
Exactly. And, I think that's really consistent with what we know about habit formation in general, right? Like small, consistent actions are way more likely to become automatic over time than, these sporadic bursts of effort.
Exactly.
It's that consistency that really leads to lasting change in any skill.
Yeah, the source even uses this analogy about brushing your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Like you wouldn't just spend hours brushing once a month.
Once a month.
Right, and expect to have good teeth.
And expect amazing dental hygiene.
Yeah.
No, it's that little bit every day that makes the difference.
Exactly.
So it's a great way to think about how these seemingly insignificant, small actions can actually lead to really big results long term without feeling overwhelming in the moment.
Yeah, so now let's look at the flip side, right? We were talking about pushing too hard, and that's where burnout comes in. The source talks about how to understand that and avoid it, because that's another big reason why people just quit.
Yeah, you hit the wall.
Totally.
And you're like, I'm done.
Yeah. So how does the source define burnout?
Well, it says it's more than just feeling tired, right? It's like this whole combination of negative emotions, whether it's boredom or frustration.
Yeah.
You're just not feeling like you're making progress.
Right. You just feel stuck.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the source mentions a few really good indicators of that. Like if you're bored, frustrated, you're avoiding practice.
You just don't even want to do it.
Yeah. Or even you're comparing yourself negatively to other people.
Yeah.
Which can be so easy to do in the age of social media.
Yeah.
That's a big sign that maybe you need to adjust something.
Yeah. And what I thought was interesting too is that the source points to two main things to prevent this burnout. One is setting a routine that actually fits your life.
Right.
Not adding this extra pressure.
Yeah, it has to integrate. Yeah. And then being realistic about how you measure progress.
Realistic expectations, yeah.
So how do we actually do that? How do we build that realistic routine? The source gives some good questions for self-reflection.
Oh, yeah, like a little self-audit?
Yeah, when do you actually have free time in your day? Are you a morning person or a night person? And then which parts of language learning do you actually enjoy doing?
Yeah, are you a listener? Are you a reader? Do you like to speak? Do you prefer writing?
Yeah.
Knowing those things is so important.
Exactly. Oh. And then based on all that, the source says, okay, pick 2 or 3 small daily habits. Just start there.
Yeah, start small.
And it gives some good examples, maybe listen to a 10-minute English podcast or watch a YouTube video with the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Or read one article and just write down a couple new words.
A paragraph.
Yeah, just something small.
Yeah, and I think the key there is like it's so much easier to be consistent
Yes.
when you're doing these manageable things.
Yeah. And you start to feel good about yourself, too, because you're like, I'm doing it.
You're getting those wins.
Exactly.
And that can build a lot of momentum.
Yeah. And this is a really good practical tip. Use a habit tracker.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's like an app or just marking it on a calendar.
Or a bullet journal.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Just to see, like, I did my 15 minutes today.
Yeah.
That's it. That's valuable.
Even 15 minutes. And, you know, it's interesting. There's something very powerful about, like, visually seeing those streaks build up.
Yes.
It can be really motivating to just, like, check it off.
Totally.
Yeah.
So along with that consistent routine, the source also talks about setting clear goals.
Yes.
Goals. And it really makes a distinction between like those broad, vague aspirations.
Yeah.
Like I want to be fluent.
Like, I just want to speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great long-term goal, but it's not going to help you like on a Tuesday afternoon.
It doesn't tell you what to do?
Yeah, exactly. It's like setting out on a journey without a map.
Okay, so instead of that, what kind of goals should we be setting?
Well, the source says to make them specific and measurable. So instead of just, I want to be fluent, maybe say, okay, I'm going to learn 5 new English words every day.
Right.
Or I'll have a conversation with a language partner once a week.
Yeah.
Or I'll listen to 1 full podcast episode every day.
Yeah, those are things you could actually track.
You can track them. You can check them off your list. You can actually see yourself making progress.
Yeah, and I love that the source also brings up the SMART method for goals.
Oh, yes.
SMART goals. So crucial for language learning.
Yeah. Can you break down what that actually means?
Yeah, so each letter stands for something. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So specific means your goals are super clear. You know exactly what you're aiming for. Measurable means you can actually track your progress and know when you've reached your goal. Achievable means that it's realistic given your current situation, you know, your time constraints and resources and all that. Relevant means that it actually aligns with your broader language learning goals and like your reasons for learning in the first place. And then time-bound means you're setting a deadline, which just helps create that sense of urgency and keeps you focused.
Yeah, and with all of that, it's so important to remember that even tiny progress is still progress.
Absolutely. It all adds up over time.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things that can help people stay motivated is focusing on those smaller wins.
Yeah.
And really celebrating those incremental steps.
So let's talk about motivation because we all know it comes and goes.
Oh, yeah. My motivation is fickle.
Yeah, and the source talks about this. Like, you can't just rely on that initial excitement.
Right. You need a deeper well to draw from.
It's like trying to steer a ship using only the wind. It's going to be unpredictable.
So what are some of those ways that the source says we can actually keep our motivation up long term?
One of the most important things is to really identify your why. Like, what's your underlying reason for wanting to learn this language in the first place?
Yeah, why are you doing this?
Yeah, is it for work? Is it for travel? For school? Or just for personal growth?
Yeah.
You know, connecting with that deeper reason can really help you stay focused when that initial excitement starts to fade.
Right, when it's like a Tuesday and you're tired and you don't want to do it.
You got to go back to that why.
Exactly. What about rewards? The source mentions those.
Oh, yeah. Rewards can be great, especially for like those smaller, more immediate achievements.
Yeah.
It helps build a positive association with learning. And, you know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Maybe it's like you get to watch an episode of your favorite show after you finish a study session.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you treat yourself to something small after you reach a mini goal. It's just something to look forward to.
Yeah. I like that. And the source also talks about like engaging with content that you actually enjoy.
Oh, yeah. This is huge. Learning shouldn't feel like a chore.
Right. Like watch movies, read books, listen to music. That's in English.
Exactly. Find topics you're passionate about and explore them in English.
Yeah.
And, you know, the amazing thing is when you're really into the content, you're way more likely to stay engaged and just absorb the language naturally. You don't even feel like you're studying.
Yeah.
It's just enjoyable.
So it's about finding those things that make it fun for you.
Yeah. Find what works for you.
And this goes along with that.
Yeah.
Like mix it up with different learning methods.
Yes, variety is key.
Yeah.
You know, if you're feeling bored or stuck with one thing, try something new.
Yeah.
Explore a new podcast or a different app.
Yeah.
Or focus on like a different skill. Like if you've been doing a lot of reading, maybe try some speaking practice.
Right.
Just keep things fresh and interesting.
Exactly. And I think this is a point that people don't always talk about enough. Taking breaks is important.
Oh, it's crucial. Rest and downtime are essential.
You can't be on all the time.
Yeah, you're not a robot. You need to recharge.
And the source says it's actually part of the learning process.
It is. It gives your brain time to consolidate everything you've learned
Right.
and come back refreshed.
So you're not going to learn as well if you're just constantly pushing yourself.
Definitely not. You'll burn out.
So now let's talk about community, because, language learning can feel kind of lonely sometimes.
Yeah, it can feel like you're on this journey all by yourself.
Yeah, and the source points this out. Like, it's really valuable to have that sense of community.
It is. Having other people who are going through the same thing can make a huge difference.
Yes, like you're all in it together.
Exactly. It's so encouraging to be able to share your struggles and celebrate your wins with people who understand.
Yeah, the source gives some good ideas for how to connect with other learners.
Like joining study groups or online forums.
Yeah.
Finding a language partner through apps like Tandem or Hello Talk.
Yeah. Or even just sharing your progress with friends or family.
Right, just talking about it with people who support you.
Yeah.
It all makes a difference.
And those connections can help you practice.
Yeah.
Get different perspectives, ask questions.
And they can also provide a sense of accountability.
Yes.
Which can be really motivating.
Like you're more likely to stay on track if you know other people are aware of your goals.
Totally. And even considering taking a class with a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Can be great for that.
Yeah.
You get that structured guidance and that sense of community all in one.
So we've talked about a lot of things that can help you stay consistent. But what about those times when you just feel like giving up?
Yeah, those times are going to come up.
The source is actually really good about this. Like it normalizes those feelings.
It says it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah, and it gives some questions to think about before you actually quit.
Yeah, like a little self-check-in.
Yeah.
Before you throw in the towel.
So what are those questions?
Well, first it asks, are you comparing yourself to other people? Because that can be so demotivating.
Right, and it's usually not a fair comparison.
No, it's never a fair comparison. Everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
And then it asks, are your goals actually realistic? Maybe you've set the bar too high.
Right.
And you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Or maybe you've just lost interest in the way you're learning.
Yeah, like your methods aren't working for you anymore.
Exactly. And sometimes just identifying those things can help you figure out what needs to change.
Yeah, and the advice isn't necessarily to quit altogether. It's more about pivoting.
Yeah. Adjusting your course.
Yeah. Like if something's not working, change it.
Right.
And there was ways to kind of jumpstart your motivation again. The source talks about revisiting your favorite materials.
Oh, yeah. Go back to the things you love.
Yeah.
Whether it's a book or a movie or a song.
Yeah.
Just something that sparks that joy again.
Or reviewing vocab that you already know.
Right. Just to remind yourself of how far you've come.
Yeah. Or even just doing some really easy tasks to build up your confidence again.
Those little wins can go a long way.
Totally. Now, the last big point from the source that I want to touch on is review and reflection.
Ah, yes. So important.
Yeah, it's not just about going through the motions. It's about thinking about what's working and what isn't.
Yeah, taking that time to assess your progress and really understand your own learning process.
And the source says, try doing this like once a week.
Yeah, like a weekly check-in.
Ask yourself, what did I actually learn this week? Which methods worked best? And do I need to change anything up?
Right. Those questions really make you an active participant in your learning.
Yeah, and you're not just passively taking it all in.
Exactly. You're in the driver's seat.
Yeah. And the source also says maybe try keeping a learning journal.
Oh, yeah, that can be really powerful.
Or even doing like voice memos in English.
Right, just to track your thoughts and your progress over time.
Yeah, and then you can look back and see how far you've come.
And that can be really motivating, especially when you're feeling discouraged.
Okay, so to wrap it all up, we've talked about a lot today. Consistency is key in language learning.
More important than intensity, for sure.
Be aware of burnout and try to avoid it.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, by setting a realistic routine.
It's realistic goals. Yeah.
Find ways to keep yourself motivated.
And your why.
Find your people.
Your tribe.
The community of learners.
Yeah.
And know that it's okay to want to give up sometimes.
And it's normal.
But don't quit.
Pivot.
Yeah, adjust course. And take time to reflect on your progress.
And celebrate those wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like this source, Tex Yang Ditempelikan, says, the people who actually reach their goals are the ones who keep going.
They're the ones who persevere. And remember, it's not about making huge leaps every day.
Right.
It's those small, consistent steps that add up over time.
Yeah, so think about it. What's one thing from everything we talked about today that you can start doing right now?
What's one small change you can make today?
Yeah.
To keep that momentum going?
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Yeah, this was fun.